Everybody, it's Tuesday. Welcome back to Let's Draw Race Cars. I'm Boris. I work for Joe Gibbs Racing, the NASCAR team. You know, we can't race right now, so we're making the most of it. We're doing some drawing. We're at home, staying healthy, staying safe. We're doing something that I know I like to do, and I know a lot of you out there like to do, and that's draw. And then you add that to race cars, it's perfect, right? Sorry I couldn't join you yesterday. I appreciate you watching the rerun. I'm going to start off with some show and tell here. Got a couple great pictures yesterday, and I'm going to send them to you. Well, I'm not going to send them. I'm going to show them to you on the screen here. But if you didn't guess yet, we're drawing Martin Truex Jr.'s number 19 Bass Pro Shops car, but we're going to tell a story today with our drawing. We're going to draw a fish and a boat as well, because I guarantee you Martin Truex Jr. is doing some responsible fishing this day and age. He's out there staying safe, but definitely getting some outdoor time in. You can still do that responsibly, of course. So here we go. I'm going to send these images to my iPad, and I am going to show you these cool drawings I got from people like you the last time we drew. Look at this drawing from Kylie. Kylie drew this 18 Snickers Camry, taking the checkered flag, confetti flying. Really good job, Kylie. Great job on the shadow and the numbers. Really, really good job. I think this was her first time watching. Her brother told her about it. So she did a great job. Got the blue number in there. Window net. You see how the brown line follows all the way around the car with the red line? Really great job there, Kylie. Awesome. And then Matthew sent in this one. If you didn't join us last week, we were doing historic race cars. I'm going to brighten this one up so you can see it even better. Yeah, there you go. Matthew drew Richard Petty's old school race car. Look at that thing. That is awesome, Matthew. Good job racing at Daytona. Got the big wing on there. Took so much time drawing the people in the grandstands, the fence, the start-finish line. Really cool job. So good job, Kylie, and good job, Matthew. All right, now it's time for us to have some fun. It's time to draw. Do you have your materials ready? Paper, pen, pencil, marker, color pencil, iPad, iPhone, other kinds of phones, other kinds of pads, whatever you got. Let's make it happen. We're going to tell a whole story today. Bass Pro Shops, one of our partners. Of course, they're on Martin Truex Jr.'s car. Yeah. And, Bass Pro Shops is the place where you can get outdoor equipment, fishing equipment, all sorts of stuff that you need to go outdoors responsibly during this time. So let me start a new page here, and let's start drawing, having some fun. It's Tuesday. How are you doing out there? I'm in North Carolina. Beautiful, beautiful day here. I think I'm going to go have lunch outside after this episode. There's a little hummingbird in my window right now. Lots of great things going on out here. Where are you watching from? You ready to draw? Well, let's get warmed up with some easy stuff. We're going to start with the boat. Okay? We're going to start with the bass boat. And I'm going to be using black. You can use whatever color you want, but I'm going to use black right now. And I'm going to draw some water for our boat. Do you know how to draw water? From the side, you can draw it like this. Draw the waves like this. See that? Look at that. Those are waves. Like on a lake. You can do them pointed like that if it's choppy, or you can do it like this. Smooth like that if you need to. Okay? You got that down? We're drawing a boat first before we get into the race car. We're just warming up with some simple things. So the boat needs to have a pointed end like this. Just pick a wave, make the boat come out of the water like that. Doing our Bass Pro Shops boat. Having some fun outdoors in a responsible way. Social distancing. And if we can't, well, we can imagine it on our paper. I'm telling a story. So I drew a straight line from the point all the way back, and then I came down at a jagged line. You see that? Is that making sense? I'm going to move my race car. Let's move it down in the water for now. All right. So on this boat, you can draw an engine in the back, or a motor, I guess would be a better terminology. right now that's all we can see is the top of the motor. So it's really like a doorway or a slice of bread shape up there. See that? Got our water, our boat, and the motor in the back. I've heard Martin Truex has a boat just like this, so that's what we're drawing. We're going to tell a story. We're going to draw his race car in just a moment, but we're warming up with a boat. I'm going to draw a line in there just to make it have some action to it. You can kind of design your boat however you want. And then I want to add a seat. So a seat is like the letter U. See that? Got a seat. And then a little cockpit area. So do like a shark fin for that. You know what a shark fin looks like? There you go. Kind of like it's sticking up out of the water. Oh yeah, looking good. All right. While you're catching up, I'm going to read some comments. We're having fun. We're drawing a boat, a fish, and a race car today. A lot of things. Can you believe that? Who's out there watching? Who's out there watching? I see Lynette's watching. Dana's in Texas. She says she's Texas. It's beautiful, but a little boring. Well, we're making it not so boring, right? We're drawing. Kristen says her son Mason is watching. Mason, thank you for watching. I'm glad you're watching, Mason. I'm so glad that you watch my videos and that you're enjoying drawing. To Mason and everyone out there watching, I really appreciate it. We're making the most of this time, aren't we? Okay, now, this is really where you can tell your own story in the boat. I'm going to draw one person up here. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do like a stick figure. I'm going to draw the head. And by the way, this is going to be Martin, but we're going to draw him from far away so you can't really see. So there's the head, and then I'm going to do a little stick out like this. There's the hat. See? Little hat. And I'm just filling this in dark shapes because it's like he's far away and we can't really make it out. It's sort of a shadow of a person over here. Then for the body, I'm going to do kind of like a hot dog shape. And I'm going to bring it up to the head right there. And have the body out there. See how we're putting a person on the boat? We're going to say this is Martin. Martin Truex Jr. out doing some responsible fishing out there. And we have to give him a fishing rod, right? So I want you to draw an arm out like this. Make the letter V. See how we made a V? And that's pretty much all you need. See, in art, you don't always have to draw all the details. Your brain and your eyes work together, and they can kind of tell that even though that's a letter V, from far away, it really does look like somebody's arm. See that? You don't have to get all the details in there. We can do a little bump for a hand like that. See that? Next, we need a fishing rod, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a thinner line coming from his hand like this. And guess what? What happens when there's a fish on the end of a fishing rod? It's moving a lot. It's bent, it's curved. And so I'm going to make it look a little jagged. I'm going to make it bent and curved like there's a big old fish on the end of that rod. I hear Martin's really good at catching fish. So we're gonna make this drawing tell a good story of catching a fish. And there's a little line going into the water. And just like that, you got your Bass Pro Shop's boat out there on the water. All right, we got the water, we got the boat. Now, of course, later you can go in and color in. I'm not going to color right now, but we're telling a story, right? Okay. So if you have a fish on the line, you know what bass fish do when they get on the line? They like to jump. And if you notice on the hood of Martin Truex Jr.'s race car, there's a big old fish on there. So we need to draw a big old fish, okay? And I'm going to do it up in the corner of my page up here. All right, I'm loving all these comments. Marvin's in St. Augustine, been there, beautiful place. What's up, Chris? Thanks for saying hi. Amanda's watching. Matt's watching, says happy little waves. That's right. John's in New Jersey. Truex Nation, pretty good, pretty awesome. Let's see here. You know what I'm going to do right quick? As Justin says, I'm an awesome artist. I appreciate that, Justin. I think we're all pretty awesome artists right now, don't you think? All right, I'm going to share this with my friends while we're out there getting ready to draw our fish and you're catching up on your boat. I do a little share here on Facebook. I want my friends to draw along with me. So if you want to do that too, feel free to. If not, that's okay, but I'm going to do it right quick right here. All right, here we go, here we go. Boom, shared. All right, so we got Martin Truex. Now we need the fish. Here's what I want you to do with the fish. I want you to draw a backwards letter C, like this. A backwards letter C, just like that. Got it? We're all used to drawing the C the other way, but I want you to draw it that way this time. All right? Good job. You can actually bring the top of the C out a little bit if you want to, so the top of the C goes out further than the bottom of the C. Okay? Now this is a largemouth bass. That means it has a big mouth, okay? No one's ever accused me of having a big mouth, I guarantee you. But here's what we need to do. I want you to make this kind of look like a fish hook. Isn't that ironic? Don't you think? Fish hook, like this. See what I did? I made this fin, this sharp point. It came down about like that. Can you see that on your screen? Let me make it even bigger for you so you can see what we're doing. There you go. So we made a backward seat, and then we brought this part to a point. Okay? Next, I want you to connect this dot down here to this dot here with a C again. So I'm going to show you on my end, and then you can draw it on yours. So we're just connecting dots with the letter C. See that? Almost looks like a shell or one of those old horns that they'd use to make music with. All right. Looking good. I can tell you're doing a good job. Now these bass, these big mouth bass, they have this big bottom lip. Big old bottom lip. So you have to draw that lip from here. And I want you to make it come all the way out here and make a little stick. That's the big bottom lip of the fish right there. See how it's looking like a fish already? We're getting to the race car next. We're telling a story. So the story is that Martin Truex Jr. drove his race car to the lake. Somehow there was a boat waiting for him already. Didn't have to tow it on the race car. Hopped on that boat from Bass Pro Shops and went fishing. And now he's catching a fish. So this is the story we're telling. We're drawing the fish and the race car comes last, okay? Now make that mouth by drawing a line straight down like that. See that? And then I'm going to fill it in. Black or whatever color you're using. Maybe a pencil would work good, but see how that's the mouth. That's where the bait and the other fish go when this fish eats. Okay. Now the eyeball on the fish is going to go right up there. See that? See how it's coming together? Looking so good. I'm going to read some more comments while you're catching up. Roseanne is in Las Vegas. Ohio is where Tracy lives. LA Church says, "Figure fishy fishy." Eric's watching. Chris is watching and from North Carolina as well. Neil is a Martin Truex fan from Indiana. Chris is in Ontario, Canada. We had someone from France yesterday watching. Well, we're drawing Martin Truex Jr.'s race car next. First, we're warming up. We drew a boat, and now we're drawing a fish. And if you can tell, the boat is in the background. The fish is in the middle of the screen, and then the car is going to be in the front. So even though the fish looks huge compared to the boat, it's way out in front of the boat. It's closer to the viewer. So that's why it looks like that, if you're wondering. Okay, let's keep going on the fish. I'm going to draw some gills, which is how the fish breathes underwater. And they're just like the letter C, all put together. We're drawing this letter a lot today, aren't we? See that? Kind of a banana shape, the letter C shape. Got it? Even the fin back here, how he swims and turns, is kind of like the letter C. So just draw those gills and that fin in there. I'm going to read some more comments. Samantha's watching from Maine. All right. Dennis randomly says that he likes pizza. I don't know what Dennis is thinking, but I guess we can all agree with Dennis, can't we? Okay. Lots of commenters out there. Looks like your drawings are going really well. All right, I'm going to get back to it. We have to draw the dorsal fin, which is on the back of the fish. So what I do is kind of draw a line up like that. Draw some spiky little spikes at the top, and then bring it back down. See how that worked out? Doesn't have to be perfect. This is a kind of a jagged area. This fin can be a little bit jagged and have points, so it can flex, it can fold down, it can stick up, so you can kind of draw however you want to. It's almost like a little head of hair back there on the back of the fish. All right. Finally, we're going to draw the tail. So the tail on this bottom line comes back, and it kind of makes the letter M. Like that. See that? Kind of drew that letter M. So we just made a fish out of the letter C and the letter M. Isn't that amazing? That's the trick with drawing, is look in the thing you're drawing and try to find shapes that you already know how to draw. That's one of our secrets of good drawing out here. So other than that, we can go back and color later. I'm just going to add a couple little lines in here just for the heck of it. Another fin. And now we've got the fish. So we've got the water back here, and the fish is jumping out. See that? If you want to draw some splashes out there, you can. See, I drew some splashes. Going to draw a little line going back into the water. And our story's coming together. There's Martin Truex Jr. out there on the lake on his Bass Pro Shop's boat, fishing. Had just hooked a largemouth bass. Now we have to draw the other part of the scene, which is the race car. He drove to the lake this day in order to get to fishing. All right. So we got our shoreline here. We got our water. I'm going to draw another line for the shore. Back on land now. And we've got to draw the race car that he parked. You ready to do that? Okay. We're looking at it here, but I'm going to draw a side view. I'm going to move that up for me. And we're going to draw a little side view of the number 19 Bass Pro Shops car. So, if you know how to do that, you just draw the ground. Remember that? Draw the ground, the whole length of the car. This is going to turn into our shadow, so it doesn't matter if it's perfect. You just want to give yourself a little line for a guide. And then if you remember, you go up on either end. If this is the first time watching, I'd encourage you to try with us, and then maybe go back and watch some of our previous episodes, because we do a lot of tricks with race cars and how to draw them at different angles. But we're going to draw lines up like that, and then we're just going to connect those lines we drew with another straight line, and that's going to give us a rectangle. And on the nose, I want you to angle that line back down so it kind of slopes. Not a perfect rectangle. There we go. There's the first part of our car. This is going to turn into the door and the hood and the trunk and the nose and the rear. We still have to draw the top. See? That's pretty much the view we're getting right there. How's that look on your screen? Yeah, that's pretty good. We'll angle a little less. Maybe like that. But that's what we're doing. How are you doing out there? You having a good time? What do you want to draw next? Put it in the comments. Let me know what you want to draw tomorrow and the next day. We draw every day, every weekday, Monday through Friday at noon Eastern time right here. And we're having fun. We're doing another special episode on Thursday on the NASCAR channels as well, so tune in there. All right, we're drawing this Martin Truex Jr. race car. Time for the roof. First, add the windshield in there with an angled line, and the rear windshield with the same angled line pointing the other direction at the back. See that? Coming up, it's kind of like the roof of a house, except we're going to chop off the little peak of it. We're not going to draw the peak of the roof like this. That gives us a nice shape to work with there. See that? If you're just joining us, the story we're drawing is that Martin Truex Jr. drove his race car to the lake and decided to go fishing. We've already finished our Bass Pro Shops boat. We got Martin right up here. We got a big fish that he's got on the line, and now we're drawing back on shore. We're drawing the race car. All right, who knows what's next? I think we're going to put the wheel wells in there. You remember how to do that? Upside down U, right? Yeah. So draw the letter U, but just draw it upside down. You remember how it normally looks, right? It's the other way, but just draw this one upside down. Now, I don't know how Martin got the boat to the lake. I don't know if his race car has a trailer hitch or not. I wouldn't be surprised if his race car has a trailer hitch, to tell you the truth. Make sure you add another upside down U on the back, like so. Bada bing, bada boom. And then on the bumper, I'm going to cut it up like this. All right. Don't worry about this line down here. That's the shadow, right? We're not messing anything up, because what we're going to do is we're going to draw the best circle we possibly can right in the middle of these wheel wells. See, mine's not perfect. I kind of outlined it a few times, got a little scribbly. And the beautiful thing is we can fill in the outside in black or a dark color, because that's where the tire is, and that's usually a dark rubber color, and there's shadow. So we're just going to kind of fill it in. Now, I've shown you this trick before, but if you're watching for the first time, this might help you. We're going to do the dot method to draw a tire and a wheel. I think you all out there know how to do it, but we'll show you again. You draw a dot up top, a dot on the right, a dot on the bottom, and a dot on the left. You see how there's an imaginary cross plus sign line here? That's how we did that. You don't have to draw that unless it really helps you. It's fine either way, but I'm just showing you why I lined them up like that. Then all you do is connect the dots with some curves. So the bottom goes to the left, makes a curve of the wheel. The left goes to the top with another curve. The top goes to the right, and then the right goes to the bottom with another curve. And now you have a near perfect circle for your tire. I'm doing an orange so you can see it, but you really should do it in black or whatever color you think is best. So I'm going to now fill in my circle while you're working on yours. And by the way, if you're falling behind or you're going too slow for us, or I'm going too fast for you, that's okay. Maybe you can pause it or go back and try your best, or just watch and then draw later. Whatever's up for you. Whatever's easiest for you. We've got a lot of episodes on YouTube and other places where you can watch these as well. So you can always go back and watch at your pace. But there we have, just like that, our race car coming together with some wheels and tires. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Okay. This is one bright race car, isn't it? I don't even know if I have a color that bright. Do you have an orange that bright? They call that day glow. It's an outdoorsman color, an outdoorswoman color. Very, very bright. It's for safety, right? On the racetrack, it helps us pick out Martin Truex Jr.'s Bass Pro Shop's Camry really quickly. You know, because Martin has a spotter up in the grandstand, up on the tower. It's watching Martin, and so it really helps him see that car. Next, we need the windows, and to do the windows, I cut the roof in half. Not literally, but I kind of draw the number 11 right there, and that's our B post. That's the middle post on the car. Holds the roof up. After that, it's just drawing the window and leaving some space in the back. The window kind of looks like the letter D, doesn't it? Look how that looks like the letter D. I'm going to draw it in orange so you can see where that letter D comes from. See that? That's the rear side window. Kind of like a long, stretched out letter D. The front window is a little different. It's kind of looking like this. Front window kind of makes that shape. See that? We're getting so close to this car being done already. Looking good. All right. Now, who remembers how to draw these numbers? Well, I'm going to show you, but I want you to notice something special about Martin's numbers on his car. They're leaned backwards. So usually I tell you to draw a straight square, but today we're going to draw an angled square to try to give that number a lean. It really makes it look like it's going fast. So just draw a line that looks kind of like this. It's kind of leaning. See that? See how there's a lean in it? This is a straight up and down line, but this one has a lean. All right. Next, you just connect the top and the bottom with a straight line. This is our secret to drawing really good NASCAR numbers really quickly. So it's a leaning square. Got it? Who remembers what's next? If we have a 1 and a 9, we need to divide that square in half. But we need to leave a skinny section for the 1 and a wider section for the 9, like this. See? I didn't do it perfectly in half right here. I left it over to the left a bit, like that. Looking at your screen, yep, looking good. Number 19. I don't think we've drawn the number 19 number yet. This is like week 3 or 4. I've lost count. Have you lost count? Anyway, we're having a good time drawing. For the 9, you have to put a dot up here. It's kind of like a little rectangle. And then the same thing down here. Now, do you see how this method helps us write almost any number? That could easily be an 8, right? This could be Kyle Busch's car if you wanted it to be, number 18. It could be a number 10. It could be a number 2 or 3. It just depends where you put the other lines. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a line right here. And all of a sudden, this car is turned into number 19. See how easy that was? You've drawn an almost perfect, bold, beautiful, angled NASCAR number just like that, really quickly. I'm going to curve off these sharp edges. Martin's car number does not have a bunch of sharp edges on the 9. It does on the 1, though. And there you go. And since I've already done the window, I'm going to fill that in black. But there is a lot of orange on this car, so it'll be okay to have that orange on there. All right. This is where the fuel goes right here. This is where the axle is. We're going to draw a dot in the middle of our wheels. That's the bar that goes across the car that connects the 2 wheels on either side. Connects them to the gears, connects them to the parts of the car that make the wheels turn, like the tie rods and things like that. That doesn't go all the way through the car. Okay. Look how good this is looking. All right, we need to have the window net in there. The window net is just some crossed lines like this. Up first, several of them. I drew about 6 or 7. And then you cut them across like that. And that is a safety measure to keep Martin's hands and other stuff in the car if he wrecks. So you see our story coming together? Look at that. We're saying, one day Martin Truex Jr. drove his race car out to the lake, hopped in his Bass Pro Shop's boat, and caught himself a fish. See? It's fun to tell stories with our drawings, isn't it? All right, let's finish this car off. Now look at these designs on his car. A lot of more C shapes, more swooshes. It's almost like they're shaped like the fish we just drew. Isn't that amazing? So you start a line along the bottom under the number, like this, and then you just swoop it up over the number like that. See how it's a swoop, kind of like a Nike swoosh on shoes? And that line carries all the way up to the roof. So the whole roof is going to be orange, and all the way in the back it's going to be black. And then he has a yellow and black line that goes from the nose, right there, all the way up and stops up here. So I'm going to draw that. Once we start coloring, it'll start to make some sense. All right. Now, if you want to write the word tracker, T-R-A-C-K-E-R, ATVs and boats on the back, you can. Or if you want to leave that blank, that's fine, but those are kinds of boats and other machines that you sell at Bass Pro Shops. Of course, BassProShops.com still going strong. My friend Craig has a boat being delivered today, I heard, for some responsible outdoorsmanship. So I'm going to fill in. I'm not going to do black. I'm going to do dark gray because our shadows are black. Again, remember I told you how your brain fills in the dots? Even though this looks gray to us, we know we're just representing a black race car, but we want to have the shadows even darker than the paint. So I'm filling it in with dark gray. And I say paint, we don't actually paint the cars anymore. Did you know that? We wrap them in this kind of plasticky material called vinyl. So how's that looking? You can tell the difference? Got this really dark gray on here to fill in the black areas. Now if it takes you a long time to fill in, maybe you're working with a pencil or a colored pencil or a pen or a thin marker, don't worry about it. You don't have to keep up with me. You can do it at the end. You can color and fill in at the end. Because I know I'm going faster with this iPad. I'm kind of cheating. I have an iPad and it can fill in really quickly. But I just want you to see where we're putting the orange and where we're putting the black. All right. And then the orange is up there. Yeah, that's pretty much all the black. So I'm going to check out a couple comments while you're catching up, and we're going to keep going in just a second. All right. Yeah, a lot of people out there. A lot of people watching. Good to see. Appreciate y'all. Let's see here. Jill's watching from New York. Barbara's in Connecticut. Davis from West Virginia. Amy wants me to say hi to Jackson in South Dakota. Are you drawing along, Jackson? I appreciate it. Devin's drawing. He's been watching almost every episode out there. Appreciate it, Devin. Kids of all ages having fun drawing today. Okay. Do you have your orange color ready? Do you? If you don't, that's okay, but I'm going to actually fill in the wheel while you get your orange color ready, because this is going to be a bright race car. If you don't have colors today, that's okay. You can stop right there and come back to it when you get the right colors that you want. Or you can turn this car and this boat and this fish and this water in any color you really want. That's the beauty of what we're doing with art here. We're just telling our own story. Okay, I'm going to pick the brightest orange I can get. They call this a day glow. And I'm going to start filling in the orange on Martin's car. I think that's too much yellow in it, so I'm going to add a little more red to my orange. Really bright orange we got going on here. And that bright day glow orange is a popular outdoors color for a lot of activities we do at outdoors, and that's really for safety, so you can see one another a lot easier. And it really works on a race car too, because we want to see that race car on the track, don't we? Here we go, looking good. The roof is orange, as you can see by my die-cast car here. And this is actually last year's car, isn't it? I think they've changed up the number a little bit on this year's car, so I'm doing a little bit of history here. I'm looking at this car I have here as my model. Oh, and don't forget the number, right? The number is orange, and I'm going to leave a little bit of white around the edges, because that's how the car looks. How's yours looking? Make sure you send me a picture of what you're drawing out there. We showed a couple today from Kylie and also one from Matthew. Go back and check theirs out. They did a great job. I hope to see some more coming in this unique picture that we drew. See, we're drawing Martin Truex Jr. doing some responsible outdoor activity like fishing. I know he loves to fish, and we drew him in his Bass Pro Shop's boat, catching a largemouth bass, jumping out of the water. Now we need a yellow line. Don't forget that yellow line on the car. Goes up like that. Right up there. And that's looking really good. And like I said, if you want to write the word tracker in there, that's one of Martin's sponsors. They make boats and other things you can find at Bass Pro Shops. You just write that. Letter T, R, A, C, K, E, R, and then ATVs, all-terrain vehicles, and boats. You want to spell boats? B-O-A-T-S. There you go. There's some other little logos on here I'm just going to allude to. There's a Bass Pro Shops logo there with some yellow in it, so I'm going to put that in there. And bada bada bada. Got a little fish, so I'm just going to pretend like there's a fish on there. See? Look at there. And now, you got Martin Truex Jr.'s race car sitting back on the bank, getting ready for him when he's done catching that fish. Well, at this point, you can go on and color to your heart's desire. Color whatever you want. Maybe you want to make that boat green or blue or red, or make the water either bright blue or maybe it's a little murky green, a little muddy, depending on what part of the country you're in. The fish is usually going to have a lot of green and brown on the top, and some white and cream colors on the belly. So it's up to you. I'm going to finish mine a little later, but I want you to show me yours when you're done, okay? Post it in the comments or send it to me, and I'll put them on the next episode, okay? Well, that's it. We've drawn Martin Truex Jr.'s Bass Pro Shops number 19 Camry, as well as a bass jumping out of the water. And this, we're saying that's Martin Truex Jr. up there fishing from his boat on the lake. I hope you've had a good day. I hope you enjoyed drawing with us. I'm going to read some more comments really quick while you're finishing up. And I'm going to go get some lunch. I'm hungry. Are you hungry? I'm going to go get some lunch. So let's see how you're doing out there. Hannah's watching. I hope you're doing well, Hannah, as well. Devin wants to draw Harrison Burton's car. That is a good idea. Let's do that tomorrow, Devin. What do you say? Harrison Burton's one of our young drivers in the Xfinity Series, doing really well, has already won this year. Debbie's watching out there too. Donna Lee's watching. Brandon's watching. Madison's watching. Big time JGR fan out there. Let me check Twitter too. See who's retweeting. See who's commenting and sharing with their friends. A lot of people. Thanks for all the retweets. We got Caitlin, Rick, Sue, Eric, all sorts of people retweeting and liking out there. I appreciate it. Taylor, Clayton, Kathy, Linda, Kelly, Mateus. Thank you so much, everyone. This has been another episode of Drawing Race Cars. All of our episodes are on YouTube, so if you want to go back and try some different angles, we've drawn wrecked race cars, we've drawn the bottom of race cars, the underside. We've done a lot of crazy, cool stuff. So go check out those episodes and stay healthy and safe out there. I'm Boris. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you tomorrow, noon Eastern time.